Hello and welcome to OUYA Oh Yeah! I'm your host Marcus Raven and this is the OUYA. Some of you might be wondering just what an OUYA is. Well, let's take a look at the history real quick. The OUYA is a microconsole developed by OUYA Incorporated. Founded by Julie Ehrman in 2012, they received funding for the project through a Kickstarter campaign. They opened the campaign on July 10th, 2012 with a goal of $950,000. Within 8 hours, they reached their goal, receiving $2 million by the end of the first day. When the campaign ended on August 9th, they had raised $8,596,474. The first development consoles began shipping out December 28th, followed shortly by the consoles for Kickstarter backers on March 28th, 2013. The OUYA officially hit retail shelves on June 25th of 2013. Let's take a look at an unboxing and see just what you get for $99. Now, admittedly, this is a staged unboxing as I've already been using my console. The first thing you'll normally see is a red plastic insert with a catchphrase on it. I've seen a couple of screens that show them to have different phrases on them. Mine personally ended up saying, "And so begins the revolution." I use it to decorate my desk at work. But here we have the controller and the console itself. Remove the plastic insert. And here we have the HDMI cable. And finally the power plug. Normally you'll also have a set of AA batteries, but I've already used mine. Now let's go through the basic setup process. Now before we do the setup, let's take a closer look at the console and controller. The controller itself is just a little bit bigger than a PlayStation 3 controller, and a little smaller than an Xbox 360 controller. It's a pretty good size. Let's grab it here. And you can see the 4 face buttons, each spelling out OUYA, the 2 control sticks, a D-pad, the OUYA system button, and the black area in the middle is a trackpad that will act like a mouse. On top we have 2 bumpers, as well as 2 triggers. A closer look at the console now. It has a brushed aluminum finish, and the power button on top. And on the back we have the ports. From top to bottom, left to right, we have the power, the micro USB, the Ethernet, the HDMI, and the USB. And underneath we have the opening that allows the fan to cool the inside. Let's go ahead and hook it up. Okay, the first thing you want to do is grab your controller, locating where the top of the faceplate meets the buttons on top. You want to pull it apart, separate a little bit, and then pull this full faceplate straight off. Do the same for both sides. And there's where your batteries are. You can see there's little cloth straps that you can place under the batteries to allow you to pull them out. When you insert new batteries, you want to make sure these cloth straps are wrapped in such a way that when you pull on them, it will pull the battery upwards. Once you have the batteries inside your controller, just simply put the faceplates back on by placing them straight back the way they came off. Click them into place and your batteries are all set. Now let's hook up the actual console. Okay, so to hook up the actual console, bring it over to your TV and plug in the power cord and then the HDMI cord. With those plugged into a power outlet and an HDMI port on your TV respectively, you're all set. Now here's a pro tip. If you want to increase connectivity with your Wi-Fi connection and your controller, turn the console on its side. Because of the aluminum brush siding, it does interfere a little bit with the connectivity. Another quick pro tip. If you want to use a PlayStation 3 controller instead of the standard OUYA controller, you'll just need a USB to Mini B cable, and of course the controller. First thing you'll do is you'll plug it into the USB port on the OUYA, and then the Mini B end goes into your PlayStation controller. The OUYA has to be on for this step. You'll see the lights flashing. All you have to do is press the PlayStation button real quick, and then unplug the cable. And then you'll see that it has taken on the role of player 1. It is now synced to your OUYA. Here we have the OUYA startup process, a shiny version of the OUYA button that we'll watch for a couple seconds, and then you'll get to see an animation you'll become very familiar with. Isn't it lovely? Now just hold the OUYA button on your controller until the middle lights start blinking, and it'll take care of the rest of the synchronization process. Now just choose your preferred language. If you couldn't guess, I chose English. Next you get to choose a network. I've skipped this section so I'm not showing the networks in my area, but once you set up your network you get to scan for updates. If any updates are necessary, it will automatically install them and bring you to the screen where you can set up a new account. Accept the license that just popped up, and then create yourself a username. I understand that I'm a little slower than the video, but I had to crop some things out. Once you have a username chosen, give it a valid email. If you see that red circle when you choose your username, it means that it's already taken. Alright, now that we have an email, choose a password. It has to be a minimum of 8 characters and cannot include your username. I also don't recommend using password like I'm doing in the example here. Once all that is done, click register. Once you have a valid username set up, and then it'll go ahead to the credit card information. It will need a valid credit card to continue signing up in order to make purchases. They don't charge you anything outright, but it's just something to keep on file for when you do eventually make purchases. So just enter the name for the card, the number. This is obviously a fake number. Expiration month, expiration year, 3-digit security code on the back, and then the billing zip code. Once all that is done, you'll be logged in, and welcome to the main OUYA screen. From here you can see the most recent featured games. You can manage various aspects of the system. You can check out the Make section, which is for development. And the big section is Discover. This is the storefront. OUYA is all about the games, and here they are. I highly recommend taking some time to familiarize yourself with this screen, as you'll be here a lot. Every single OUYA game is free to try. Now whether that means it's a demo or it's actually a free game with some kind of payment option inside, that's determined by the software creators. So you'll just have to dive in head first and see what you can find. At this point, OUYA Oh Yeah is a game review series. I will be going through my own personal collection to start things off with, but I'd like to hear from you guys. What do you want to see reviewed? Find yourself an OUYA game and leave it in the comments, and I will try my best to get a review done for that game. In the meantime, if you'd like to learn more about the OUYA, visit ouya.tv. This will show you their entire library of games in an easy-to-browse fashion, as well as give you the opportunity to pick up your own. $99 for the base model, and $129 for the double storage model. It's currently sold out, but I'd keep my eyes on it for when it comes back in stock. You can also get extra controllers, and pretty soon you'll be able to get colorful faceplates for the controllers. Kind of excited about that personally. If you want to learn more about the history of the OUYA, check out the Wikipedia article. And please don't forget to subscribe, because I do have more coming. Thank you so much for watching OUYA Oh Yeah. This has been Marcus Raven, and I'll see you next time.